He that keeps the commandment keeps his own soul, but he that despises his ways shall die. He that has pity upon the poor lends unto the Lord, and that which he has given will he pay him again. Chasten your son while there is hope, and let not your soul spare for his crime. Greetings, giving thanks. Ross Reports, headline of the time. Today we're talking about the Pope. Fortune magazine, front cover. Pope means business. How Pope Francis plans to restructure the Vatican scandal-plagued finances and generate more money for the church. The Holy Reformer. That's what they call him. The Holy Reformer. Starts off saying the new Pope wanted to talk about money. Remember that the Pope declared money was the root of all evil just a few months ago. Now all of a sudden he wants to talk about money. Well, the Bible teaches that it's the love of money or sin or lust that is actually the root of all evil, not money itself. For how could money be the root of all evil when it's man-made? Evil is not made by man, but made by Jah. Jah makes everything. And that's the first thing we have to understand. It's not money is the root of all evil, it's the love of money. And the Pope, in error, intentionally declared money to be the root of all evil. Basically he sets up, and this is an advertisement for the Vatican. I'm not sure what kind of investors they expect, but obviously people that would want low yields, secure investments, low risk. And so, this whole advertisement is telling us about how, this new direction that the Pope's taken, and how he's a real business friendly, and he's an expert manager, and all these kinds of things. So it's going through a narrative of him basically setting up a meeting to meet with some businessmen somewhere, and basically it goes like this. The visitors didn't report to the Apostolic Palace, where they had for centuries met the Pope in style. Instead, they took a 150-yard stroll through the hilly enclave to a new Pope's place of business, Casa Santa Marta, the 5-story limestone guest house that could be mistaken for a new hotel. So, apparently this is where he lives, in a 1-bedroom suite in the guest house. And that's supposed to be like him showing his humility and his aligning with the poor. After 15 minutes, Pope Francis entered the room and got right down to business. Attired in a simple white cassock and plain metal cross, he took his place standing at the head of the table. Well, they say metal, but they didn't mention it was platinum. The Pope explained to the group that his spiritual message to be credible, the Vatican's finances must be credible as well. Francis declared that sound financial management was a pillar of his greatest mission, aiding the poor and underprivileged. That's what he plans to do, is aid the poor and underprivileged. A couple of the Vatican's holdings, its total operating budget is about $700 million. The Vatican's most valuable assets, and it states here, some of the world's greatest art treasures are virtually priceless. And then it breaks down their value, how much they're worth. For instance, the art collection is worth $130 million. So I guess $130 million is considered in the realm of priceless. The Vatican Bank has a value of $972 million, so about a billion. Real estate holdings, $1.35 billion. Investment, which is stocks, bonds, and gold, is $920 million. So it's interesting to see that, first of all, that the church invests in stocks and other things of this nature. I mean, because, the church itself, if you read the gospel and if you actually read it, you'll come to find out that the Christ was very much against the idea of interest, the money changers. He wanted the people to be able to live in a system that didn't allow certain individuals to contain the control of the majority through oppressive means. Pope Benedict Butler smuggled letters to the press that warned the pontiff of corruption and cronyism in the Vatican. So again, it's going to endorse the Pope in this article. He's the good guy. He's come along. He's the manager. He's going to set everything straight. He's famous for saying, "Who am I to judge?" when he was talking about the homosex. And that was different than Benedict, who Benedict took a strong stance against homosex. So it's interesting. How do you get one guy is strongly against homosex, the other one's favoring homosex, and back to back, you know, in the same organization? What has been less appreciated by outsiders until now is the Pope's elite managerial skill set. Like a great CEO, he has the ability to set a strategic vision, then chooses to motivate the right people to make it work. So again, he's an elite manager, but just a second ago they were talking about how he had this meeting with these guys, and he basically said, "You're the experts and I trust you. Now I want solutions to these problems and I want them as soon as possible." That doesn't sound like an elite manager to me. Pope Francis has a complex but pragmatic view of money. Money is useful to carry out many things, for works to support humanity, he has said, but when your heart is attached to it, it destroys you. His humble lifestyle follows these precepts. He resides in a one-bedroom, second-floor suite in Casa Santa Marta overlooking the entrance. He's frequently spotted in a buffet line, which only offers a choice of 2 main courses for lunch and dinner. And he takes no holidays. If the poor can't take vacations, why should he? Before he took charge of Buenos Aires, the Archdiocese was a large shareholder of Argentina banks, and the banks regularly granted their investor loans on easy terms. As Cardinal, Francis denounced the arrangement as a blatant conflict of interest and sold the Archdiocese bank holdings. He also refused to attend fundraising dinners, usually regarded as one of the Cardinal's top jobs. His aversion to catering to the wealthy didn't stop with his ascension to papacy. He's famously denounced the excesses of capitalism and firmly believes that the rich get too much from the market economy while regular workers don't receive enough. So again, this lip service, you know, what's actually going to happen, we'll see. You know, the Catholic Church has 1.2 billion followers, and typically, you know, these people function as the house niggas. I mean, they're usually in the managerial or supervisory positions. In other countries in the world, you have working class that are majority of Catholicism. But in the United States of America, a lot of the Catholics are fairly well off. And basically, the Catholic Church teaches that you don't have to have works, just faith. If you go to church every Sunday, and by the way, over time, the laws have changed, so you are able to give some tithes to the church and therefore cover your sins. And that's the whole basis behind the church. The church is really trying to move this population in the direction of the man-beast, which promotes anything and everything against the will of Jah. And they have been the first Christ-following church in existence, so it's important that this church sets the example. Now, you do have these other congregations out here that are very much against the Catholic Church, the Baptists, for one. And but this whole thing, the idea is that, you know, we can somehow separate people and get people to think in their idea that if I join this group, if I join this organization, that I'll inherit the treasures, that I will be the anointed one, that I will be the chosen one, right? Because people are called and they're chosen and they're anointed. Well, these congregations seem to like to teach people that their way is the only way. But that's the opposite of Rastafari. Rastafari teaches that it's within each and every man's heart is what matters. And each and every man is accountable for his own sin and his own mischief. And each and every man is rewarded for his righteousness.